Please be seated. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It will be a great afternoon. Dean Wong, I can already tell this is a rowdy crowd. I'm sorry. My name is Ira Schwartz. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to Emory University, to Emory School of Medicine. And today, this is the white coat ceremony for the Emory School of Medicine class of 2029. Nothing's happened yet. Just chill. On behalf of all of our students, our small group advisors, all the faculty, staff, alumni, and the Board of Trustees, allow me to welcome you warmly to Atlanta, Georgia. It is a mild fall day here in the Deep South, and if you're coming from elsewhere, you're experiencing not the steamy summer that we get in this part of the country, but the lovely fall weather, and we hope everybody gets to enjoy it this weekend. I must also say good morning and good evening. There are cameras up here. This ceremony is being webcast, live cast literally around the world to anybody who tunes in, to our many family members, partners, faculty, alumni who were unable to join us here because of some geographic limitations. So our TV audience, hi, you're very welcome. Whatever time zone you're tuning in from, we're delighted you've chosen to join us here. A terrific few hours for everybody. A few brief announcements before we begin. First, let me pull this out. Now is the time to make sure all your electronic devices are firmly in the off position. We thank you. We anticipate sitting here for about 1 to 1.5 hours. If you need the restrooms, they are directly under the stage and can be accessed through the doors and stairs to my right and left. Following our ceremony, we very cordially invite you to experience our community and our campus. We are on the Emory University campus, and it's a particularly beautiful place if you've never visited here before. Our School of Medicine will be open to students and visitors. It's about a 7-minute walk that way, and you're sure to run into new friends, family members, faculty, and see where our students have spent a large fraction of their time during these first few months of their medical education, and will spend even more time in that building in the months and years to come. If you do feel like enjoying the warm weather, and it looks like it's cooperating, diagonally across the street from the School of Medicine is Lullwater. This is a 154-acre nature preserve that's on Emory's campus, part of Emory, open to all of you today, filled with flora, fauna, streams, running trails, a lake, and lots of entertaining people. So please take advantage of the outdoors if you wish later this afternoon. Finally, the medical school has engaged a professional photographer. The photographer will be taking a group photo of the class of 2029, not here, but on the stairs that you walked up when you came into this building. At the end of the ceremony, we would like our students, they know this, to exit, recess the sanctuary, and form lines. The photographers and our staff will help them quickly on the front steps of this building to have their group photo taken. I need to inform you now, sadly, the rest of us are not invited to this photograph. Don't bomb the photo. Let our students do their, I'm talking to you faculty, by the way, okay? Dr. Manning, I'm talking to you. Let the photographer make a portrait of the class of 2029, and then the event will be finished, and you should enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you so much. And now, it is my honor to introduce the Dean of Emory School of Medicine. To put this in context, Emory University was founded in 1836. Our medical school dates from 1854, and since those early days, there has always been a person, a doctor, in charge of the entire academic enterprise. We call that doctor the dean. Our dean is Dr. Sandra Wong. She wasn't there way back when, she's new, okay. It's an extraordinary job. Dr. Wong is, for two sentences of biography, an internationally renowned physician scientist, an international leader in surgical oncology. That means she trained as a surgeon and specializes in the care of people with different kinds of cancers. But as she grew in her profession, she also became interested in the social aspects of healthcare, and she is globally recognized as a researcher in health services. She and her colleagues have done research to help doctors, patients, government agencies address the disparities in healthcare in our country and elsewhere. She's particularly interested in rural counties. Important work. Lastly, I'll say these are challenging days in American higher education and in medicine. I can tell you for sure that Dr. Wong works weekends. So Sandra, we're particularly grateful to you for coming over today to greet our guests and our students. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Wong.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Schwartz, for a very nice introduction. And I'm going to offer some very brief comments because I really don't want to detract from the highlight of today, which is our students. So I will echo Dr. Schwartz's welcome to all of you and welcome to the White Coat Ceremony for the class of 2029. Thank you to all the friends and family. I mean, look at this. All of you who've come today, welcome to the Emory community. And to our students, front and center here, congratulations to each and every one of you. You've made it through 3 months of classes and, from what I understand, 3 exams now. So this is a great way to cap all of that off. We are here for really a symbolic cloaking of you as a physician in training. Put simply, these white coats that we are about to have you put on represents professionalism. It's a deep symbol of our profession. While the coat itself, I saw you all carrying them in, while the coat itself doesn't really weigh a lot, I think there is some weight of responsibility that comes with the coat itself. And these white coats aren't necessarily a new thing. They've been around the medical profession since the late 19th century. However, white coat ceremonies really didn't start until the late 20th century. And the ceremony represents a transition to the medical profession and a commitment to patient care. And it's something that we didn't think should wait until graduation. So, which, by the way, for most of you sitting there, I know many of you are dual degrees, but for most of you, that will be in this very building in 3 years and 7 months. So that's something to look forward to. At that point, I think you will have all earned a long white coat, but this transition to the short white coat is really symbolic. And I'm not here to give a history lesson, but it's actually really important to think about kind of how we got to the white coats, because before the end of the 19th century, it really was about black coats. And a lot of physicians at that time were very formal, and so the uniform at that time were black coats. It was considered to be a very serious and formal attire. And I think if you think about the state of science at that time, those encounters probably were oftentimes at the end of life, and the black probably symbolized that. Thankfully, though, with scientific advances and the advent of aseptic techniques, physicians really started to wear white coats. And these white coats really represent a symbol of cleanliness, right, lack of infection, and compassion. These white coats will become a uniform of sorts for all of you, a really visible sign of your commitment to professionalism, to integrity, and to compassionate care. It will come to represent the many years of hard work ahead of you as you learn and grow. I hope it gives you a sense of connection, a connection to the community of healers that we all are a part of. It's a commitment to the service of humanity, and we thank you for that. I also think, tradition aside, I think it's actually an apt reminder for all of us that the field of medicine is perpetually changing. And in many ways, many physicians in practice don't wear white coats. There's a concern for infection. Please remember to launder your white coats. And for many of you in the hospital, you'll see colleagues in fleece jackets. And those have become pretty popular and pretty practical. Nevertheless, the white coat remains a symbol of medicine and a symbol of being a doctor. So let's just remember that, and also remember that traditions are important. We remember that we honor traditions, and we still need to be future-facing. To our students, you are our future. You are our future physicians. Don't stop innovating. Don't stop improving. You represent our future. We're counting on you to contribute your knowledge and to advance healthcare. We're excited to see where you go from here. Congratulations again. And let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Bill Eley, our Executive Associate Dean of Medical Education. I'm sorry, I must have messed that up. Dr. Schwartz is back.
No, I like to introduce Bill, and I'm going to do it. It's okay. It's my privilege to introduce. We never want to follow Bill, you'll see. Okay, it's good to be before him. John William Eley, always known as Bill, is the Executive Associate Dean of Medical Education and Student Affairs, a mouthful of a title, which means that he, along with Dr. Wong, is responsible for the entire medical curriculum for the School of Medicine and all the other programs that are part of the School of Medicine. He is the one who ensures us faculty and all of our students to make sure that the students have the requisite knowledge, skills, and develop the attitudes that are necessary for the modern practice of clinical medicine. It is a daunting job, and I will say here, just let me say this, Bill, he is uniquely qualified for this extraordinary task. He grew up in this community. He graduated from Emory College, just over there, where he distinguished himself not only academically, but as an all-American athlete. He is an alumnus of this medical school, and then he was persuaded to stay for further clinical training, a residency in internal medicine, and that's where he found his life's work, which was taking care of people with cancer. He did a fellowship in medical oncology. He is a medical oncologist. Somewhere along the line, he picked up a Master's of Public Health and co-authored a textbook on epidemiology. Bill specializes in the care of women with breast cancer, but what all of us who know him know that he specializes in the care of human beings. He has been awarded every teaching award this university can bestow and others. He is deeply respected by his peers. He is admired by our students. And truthfully, he is beloved by his patients and their families. Now, Dr. Eley, you can come to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Schwartz. Thank you. Thanks to the crowd. As people often say, I wish my mom was alive to hear that. She knew. She made me who I am. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to all of you, friends, family, alumni, members of the Alumni Board. If you will please stand. Our Alumni Board is represented here. I just want you to stand and be recognized. Thank you. The Alumni Board does all kinds of good things for our students, and you'll see one of the major efforts they brought forth for this class as we go through these slides. We are overjoyed to be together today to celebrate a ceremonial step of these exceptional members of the class of 2029 as they are taking the path to become a physician. I said 2029, a spoiler alert for the families. This has already been alluded. A third of these students will graduate with more than one degree. They may not have told you that yet. Students, be careful. They may not know yet, though. They may have their curiosity take them to all sorts of things along the way, and that is as it should be. And a special thought about our MD PhD students, who will be here for 8 years perhaps, as they become both doctors and doctors. I'm going to spend the next few minutes orienting you, the families, and class, you'll remember that word, orientation. We're going to orient the friends and families to your entrance into Emory Medical School. I'm going to provide a snapshot of the class, tell you a little bit about what they've been doing these first few months, and provide a little insight into what they may struggle with over their medical school careers. We as a community are going to support them going forward. That is, they're going to support each other. Our small group advisors are going to support them. The faculty and staff will support them. And importantly, their families and friends are going to support them. This past July, Dr. Schwartz borrowed a clinical motif from students for medicine about orientation to introduce our students to Emory Medical School. I'll use the same motif today to provide guests with an introduction to the class. Class, not to confuse you, my order today will be time, place, and person. So first, who are you? Let's talk about time on earth. There are 138 M1 students, 93 women, 45 men. Their age ranges from 21 to 31, with a mean of 24. And 92% of these students have spent a year in between college and coming to medical school. And that is important to note. Where are they from? First of all, they're an international group. This class is amazingly diverse. And part of that comes from being born outside the United States or being a citizen of another country. And you can see these countries, but it is truly a wonderful melting pot of experience that is represented by this class. They come from 25 states plus DC and Puerto Rico. You can see the states, the majority are the largest portion are from Georgia. The second largest are from California. And we don't quite understand that, but we welcome our California people. So thank you for being here. And you can see the other states. I'd just like to say it's from the West Coast to the East Coast. It's from north to south. And don't miss that person from Alaska. We don't always have a person from Alaska, but welcome. They come from 66 different undergraduate institutions. Again, Emory's #1, Georgia Tech's #2. Yellow Jackets are in the house. Well, you can look, UPenn, UGA, but go on down and look at all of the colleges that are represented in this class. It's another idea that we have come to really love, and that is people come with different points of view, they have learned different ways with different people, and they all bring them to medical school. I mean, these students are from large and small universities, from Xavier in New Orleans to Bowdoin and Occidental and Davidson, from the University of Chicago to Georgia State and UC San Diego, from the University of South Florida to Cornell and Washington University in St. Louis, among a few. What's even more impressive is their majors. Now, if you say they have 67 undergraduate majors, but look down there at the bottom, 28% have a double or a triple major. What does that say? That says they're very talented, very curious, and very overachieving. But they bring all that with them, and please note the majors from biology and neuroscience to philosophy, classics, nursing, applied math, and art history. Again, a truly, truly remarkable group of people. And they have other degrees already. 24 have already been awarded a postgraduate degree, 13 MPH, 13 other masters. That means somebody's got more than one master's degree. We won't call them out. And the people are coming for dual degrees. We have 9 people signed up for an MD PhD, 7 for an MD MPH, and 5 for an MA in bioethics, which would be the largest group of students taking advantage of our bioethics dual degree ever. The most important aspects of this class, though, are not in numbers. The most important aspects of this class are literally what is in their brilliant minds and their dedicated spirits. They have done things, they have worked with old people, they have worked with young people, they have volunteered, they've been in laboratories and made new discoveries. They have been leaders in their community, and always, always with the intent to help others. So I don't want to get stuck in numbers. I want us all to remember that the attributes that make this class ready to be doctors are things like kindness and dedication to others. We believe every one of them has the desire and ability to provide extraordinary care to others. So that's who they are. I want to go to the next. What have they been up to? They were in a week-long orientation that included person, place, and time, being oriented. And then we took time talking about why they are in medical school. We actually had a session where we provided them with a book and we asked them to write down what their purpose in life was. And we reflected on the words of Martin Luther King, who said the most important question one has to answer in their life is how they're going to help others. And we talked about, it's great to have answered that. The people who are in this medical school class are going to help others through becoming doctors. And that is a huge step in our lives. We discussed the difficult path of transformation into a physician. We discussed their fears. We had a session on gratitude, and we talked about our values. In the past, we would have had a 30-minute to an hour-and-a-half talk on the honor code and the conduct code. But instead, we had them do an exercise. And I wanted to put this up. This is the exercise we did. Take 5 minutes to consider a time when you, a family member, or a friend received health care from a person that you feel represented the best of what a medical professional has to offer. And then we had them get into small groups and tell those stories to each other and list the attributes of the caregiver that they saw, so that they would start to understand their own values. And we would get to revisit our values. This is a result of that, and I don't expect you can read a lot of it. We had somebody diligently write down on a whiteboard what the students said, and I'll just read some of the words. Competent, integrity, present, selfless, reassuring, calming, meeting patients where they are, attentive, humble, compassionate, sensitive to culture. I submit that this board is all any of us need to know about what it is to be a physician and even just to be a good person. That is what they brought forth. That is what we need to foster in each other as faculty, as staff, as colleagues, and as fellow students. Because Emory is celebrating a year of compassion, which I think is great for a medical school, from Tuesday through Thursday, we started each day with a lesson on compassion, culminating with a meditation. On Friday, our ever-caring and supportive Alumni Association gifted our students with a stethoscope and a celebratory Friday afternoon ceremony. And that is a picture of our class standing outside the School of Medicine, adorned with their new stethoscopes. Importantly, this stethoscope allowed them to be ready for Week on the Wards. At Emory, we decided 15, maybe 20 years ago, that we wanted the first patients that our students met to be patients, alive and well or sick, but we wanted them to be patients. For many of the doctors in the audience, the first patients we met were a cadaver in the anatomy lab. But we switched that up. The students went off to Week on the Wards, and we talked about it being sort of the last time they would be a layperson. From here on out, they're in that transformation to a physician. The week presented an opportunity for them to become excited about their new role, to become aware of their knowledge deficit, which is enormous for all of us, and to serve as an anchor for why we and they are gathered in this medical school, to serve others. This year, we did our very best to reduce the amount of time in orientation and Week on the Wards so that we talked to them instead of listening to them, because we knew what was to come. Beginning with the healthy human, which is what they started back in August, is a deliberate attempt on our part to emphasize the goal of remaining healthy, both us and our patients. They've completed the better part of this healthy human. That's included cells to humans, neuroendocrine function, and integrated human physiology, nutrition, and metabolism. They've also started a community learning course and the essentials of patient care. They have begun to expand their listening skills to take a history. And they've begun their instruction in the age-old methods of observing, feeling, poking, and prodding the human body. They've already been asked to digest a couple of thousand PowerPoint slides and videos filled with foot-long words in Latin and Greek. And at a risk of stimulating the class's entire sympathetic nervous system at one time, I'm going to put up a slide. So you all just hold, take your pulse. Wait. So when I went to medical school, there were a couple of neurotransmitters, and they each had one receptor. This is a list of the neurotransmitters we have now and all the different receptors that our genome codes for. That's way too complicated, but not surprising given the miracles of our brain, right? And I'll just look, there's ionotropic and then metabotropic. Anybody get that in medical school? I didn't get that when I got to medical school. That means it works without changing an ion channel. It works by direct molecule-to-molecule communication. They're learning these sorts of things. Now, at the bottom, I think, you can't read this, but it says you don't have to memorize all these. Thank goodness. But you can imagine seeing this slide and going, oh my gosh. That's just one of the slides. And then they laughed already. I went too fast, but This is the full subway map, according to Dr. Sloan, of the human metabolism. And I think the scary thing about this is you can't read it. It's in such small print. And if that's the subway, do you really want to get on it? But we have made the links in science between all these pathways that allow us to make proteins and energy and literally are part of the miracles of our lives. But I just want to show you these things. They're just two representative slides of many, many slides. So I say this because in doing all this, they're also volunteering and playing soccer and football and basketball and going to yoga and doing the things healthy people do. But for those family members who think they've not heard from their students as much as they used to, please remember they are spending an increasing amount of time learning the things they need to learn. And all I can say is while we've started at a brisk pace, for those of us who are in medicine, it will just increase over the next 50 years. It's no big deal. It is an enormous amount of knowledge and skills that we learn, and the most important things we learn are about what it is to be human. As the pace and the stress increases, I ask each of us to ask two questions. And when I say us, I mean the entire room, because I want you all to help your loved ones. The questions are, number one, why am in medical school? Our students are not in medical school to pass a test. They have to, but they're not here for that. Our students are not here to pass step one. They're here, and they have to do that, but that's not why they're here. Our students are going to do research, but it's just not to do research. Like everything we do, it's so that we can help others. And when students are struggling, I ask them to sort of recenter, if you will. Start every day with asking, why am I here? Start every study session by, why am I here? The second question is, am I maintaining a healthy body, mind, and spirit? And I mentioned to the students that we need to have a spiritual life. It doesn't have to be religious, but it needs to be spiritual. Medicine is really hard. We deal with very, very difficult things. And I think we need to seek awe wherever we can, whether that's in a religious practice, a meditative practice, a yoga practice, being outdoors, an exercise where we really find ourselves feeling that sense of joy and awe, journaling, reading poetry, creating poetry. We have to have these things that keep our body, mind, and spirit well. Let's not underestimate the difficulty of this transformation. And Dean Wong said exactly the words I always say. And it's the weight of responsibility that any good-hearted person feels when agreeing to put on the white coat and go into a room of someone who's suffering and try to relieve their suffering. Likewise, let us all pledge to accept the love and kindness offered us from those here with us today, in person and online, our small group advisors, our deans, our staff, those in our university offices of religious life and student health and counseling, our 300 plus faculty members. We will literally and figuratively walk together with you as you begin this lifelong path. I urge every one of us here today to walk this path together, life. It is important to not walk it alone if we are to thrive. We will more likely ask you to slow down than speed up. We will not allow you to go faster than you should, and we will be there for you, as will your colleagues and loved ones, when you stumble. We all stumble. Our sincerest hope is that your patient stories and lives and your ability to help them become a compelling, joyful force in your lives. Their stories and kindness are extraordinary gifts to you as you lead a life dedicated to service, learning, and research. Simultaneously, with the support of your colleagues, family, friends, you will learn to successfully care for yourselves and your families and your teachers as you become a humane, exceptionally competent physician. To summarize the experience of medical school, one of our senior students helped my predecessor, Dr. Jack Schulman, create a graph that we've shown to these students already. We've shown it for the last 25 years. That was before we had, that was done on one of the old slides. But if you notice, we're going into a little dip here. And I will say the reason is that getting used to this volume of information and the weight of the white coat is a difficult task. They're going to start anatomy in December, and it's going to add 20 hours a week to their already really stressed lives. And it's going to be in winter, and we're not going to have weather like this, although some days we might, but most of it's be gray like it is everywhere in the winter and cold. But we come back up. I'm going to show the class and now you loved ones another slide that I made, which may be a better summary of the day-to-day life, hour to hour sometimes, of a first-year medical student. It's rapid cycling. Now, for the doctors of you in the room, you know that this is an emergency. And you do big things to get people out of this rhythm. And we will try to do that together, but it does feel that way sometimes. Bless you. So, I want to say we're here today to literally practice what we have been talking about, and that is pausing and reflecting as a class and a community on your entry into this noble profession. As I've told the class already, healthy physicians take time to pause and reflect. I ask the loved ones here to help us by reminding ourselves and our students that slowing down and reflecting are a necessary and healthy part of being a human and a physician. We all need to be reminded there are basic needs that we need to attend to: sleep, exercise, a healthy diet, in-person human interactions, creative endeavors. So I grant all of us, students, loved ones, staff, and faculty, to gently nag each other with great kindness if we see that we're not taking care of ourselves. With great love and kindness, kindly. We have very, very intentionally invited you families and loved ones here today. That is why we are here. We could have done this just as a group, but that's not why we're here. Let us be ever mindful of the essential roles of our families, loved ones, and colleagues in our lives. The relationships represented here and online are vital to the support of all humans, but especially critical for caregivers. Family and friends, your ongoing care and understanding is the greatest gifts our students will ever receive. Class of 2029, your kindness and care of others is equally important. As the students put on their white coats today, symbolically they assume the mantle of a professional. I would also like us collectively in this room to offer the white coat as a cloak of love and support. We are overjoyed that you, our wonderful class of 2029, kind and talented students, have chosen to become physicians at Emory University, and that you all have joined us on this important day in our lives. Thank you. And now, for the main event. In a minute, we will line up our students by their society and have them walk across the stage to don their ceremonial white coat. They will be assisted by our small group advisors. Please stand, small group advisors. Many years ago, we decided that we needed to have special relationships with faculty at our School of Medicine. These are the group of people that we have selected to help lead our students through their transformation professionally to become physicians. They're an amazing group. They meet with the class during this time of year 2 to 3 times a week. They teach them their physical exam skills. They act as guides and advisors, and sometimes do add a boy or girl, and sometimes say, get going. They're wonderful colleagues, and they probably are the most important thing with our faculty and our students that goes on at our School of Medicine. So thank you. Please be seated. Dr. Harrison, if you could have the students and lead back to their places where we're going to start donning the white coats. Small group advisors, you can move over to the side, the ones who are going to come up first. And I want to say something to everybody here. This class has exceptionally beautiful, challenging names. I beg for your grace as I do my utmost to correctly pronounce each name. I don't think I'm going to do this, but I just ask for forgiveness in advance. It goes along with having the most wonderful altruistic group of people on the earth in our class. If we can have the Crumpler Society doctors, small group advisors come up. No, just wait till I call. Oluwajimi Adeoyen. Zachary Udnan. Juan Pablo Armez. Adejimi Oromolaren. Sydney Barish. Jacob Budnitz. Dominique Carlo Franceschi. Rafael Celedon Garcia. Talia Coopersmith. Marisol Stephanie Cora Cruz. Janie Dent. Layla Anis Dana. Audrey Claire Douchus. Megan Furston. Mimi Hari Podawakun. Caitlin Hendershot. India Hetherington. Mackenzie Hines Wilson. Angelo Juliana Huff. Michelle Rose Jayuraj. Joseph Kahn. Kai Nicole Kelly. Sachi Kumar. Jaden Matthews. Charlotte Rose Punsalan McDonough. Megan Meredith. Nicholas Van Nguyen. Pablo Patel. Allison Rosenthal. Brenda Sanchez. William Schuler. Allison Sonnenberg. Sean Ryan Stilo. Matthew Thacker. Sarah Torzone. Could I have the faculty from the Holmes Society on the stage? We'll switch out. Thank you very much. I usually get a green card. They may not have it. Kamsiona Adechia. Ruth Kabedi Alamu. Nathan Applebaum. Garel Ari. Macy Balk. Lillian Dawson Bass. Carlos Vidal Castro. Emily Marie Clark. Clara Deely. Medina Eshova. Katie Friedman. Avi Simon Goldman. Maya Elizabeth Golub. Natalie Lucia Gresham. Lola Hakim. Sierra Hunter. Anna Urjan Kaji. Prabnur Kaur. Angel Kelly. Naharika Marupudi. Oluwamatoni Naomi Oluwaditade. Fatima Gold Rahim. Aman Rafiq Rakang. Alexa Rabat. Georgia Rivero. Daniel Daesung Sands. Thomas Bradford Satterfield. Sean Strobel. Desi Chin. Elise Michelle Tong. Stephanie Dimitra Vagelos. Jared Zung. Zach Zhang. Uh-oh. The Client Society leaders, small group advisors, please come up. What a good group. William Arnold. Samira Assel. Holly Batchelder. Joshua Berger. Dennis Bose. Guthrie Ogden Bueller. Naveed Dalaid. Jamie DeWalt. Amanda Diem Feenstra. Patrick Halar. Michelle Oluwada Milola Johnson. That's long. Thank you, sir. Sarah Kaplan. Eley Kim. Susanna Kisker. Shivani Lamb. Jordan John Santos Lee. Sierra Monet Lyons. Sophia Ma. Riley Elizabeth McGarry. Nina Mondero. Mercy Olawoya. Arun Ramakrishnan. Elizabeth Lane Ralston. Margot Sarkozy. Ruta Gabrielle Seitz. Ethan Shah. Ria Syed. John Theodore. Emily Tu. Nikita Vora. Emma Carol Templer Walden. Sophie Walsh. Nathan Webb. Hannah Weissman. Kara Morrison Willoughby. Would the Trias small group advisors please come up on the stage? What a crew. Johannes Medhadi Abraham. Ozi Amuzi. Caroline Grace Bradford. Elvin Canseco. Isabella Cavagna. Rebecca Clyburn. Joseph Cummings. Lucia Ferrer. Jacob Germany. Zoe Haley Johnson. John Richard Hester. Hannah Houston. Tariq Itum. Natasha Lang. Lisa Lomatudze. Nyasha Mafarachize. Aliyah Olivia McKinney. Madeline Grace Meir. Gift Nwagu. Benjamin Orlinik. Isabel Andrea Paredes Cantos. Abigail Recco. Izzy Romeo. Walker Rosenthal. John Emory Sabatini. Jessica Schluitt. Trinity Anna Scruggs. Colin Sharp. Cecilia Schuler. Isabella Cecil. Colin Song. Lucy Randall Stewart. Lydia Tesfaye. Zubri Wright.
Okay, another round of applause for these students. Boy, when I said this was a rowdy crowd, I didn't realize how rowdy they'd be. By the way, for you folks up on the balcony there, I see, hey. I see a lot of smiling faces and a little bit of preening, okay? These coats will never be this white again, okay, as you've heard. The ceremony is almost over, but before we end, a few final comments, please. And the last few minutes are specifically, I want to represent your small group advisors, our colleagues, but I want to say these words specifically to you, our new future colleagues. Actually, before I do that, I think Dr. Eley meant to do this, but a big thanks to the people who made this happen. Mona Ingram. Just a shout out to Mona Ingram, Alan Lee, my colleagues in the admissions committee, June Eddingfield, Faith Levy, Cheryl Cottle, and Megan Ray of her Say Hey Cafe. So thank you so much for this. To you, class of 2029. When we first met, as Dr. Wong and Dr. Eley reminded you, it was only 13 weeks ago. July 21st, I suspect it may seem like longer for many of your family, friends, and certainly you. But by the way, to restate what you might have missed, by my calculations last night, you have 175 weeks more to go. before any of you will be even eligible to graduate this medical school. So as Dr. Eley suggested, chill. Slow down. You can't make this happen any faster, promise. During that first week of orientation, as Dr. Eley reminded you and informed our guests, a variety of things happened, which I suspect some you might actually remember. Dr. Ward asked you to take your pulse, and then Dr. Eley, me, Dr. Schulman, Dr. Hairston, Dr. Lekowitz, all of your small group advisors tried to get you to understand, and we transparently told you why and how each of you got an invitation to come to Emory. We told you quite honestly what attributes the admissions committee was looking for in your applications, and then in these Zoomland interviews. And people thought very carefully about each and every one of you. And I will disclose to the guests here that this class here, bless you, this class here is a distillation of, this is a true number, 12,662 applications we got last year. I have to persuade Dr. Wong, the admissions committee works really hard every year. So for you, we looked for the attributes that Dr. Eley already elucidated: kindness, compassion, maturity, or the ability to act mature even if you don't feel it, reasonable intelligence, you don't need to be a genius to be a great doctor, and curiosity. As Dr. Eley explained, intellectual curiosity, probably the most important attribute that we look for. Curiosity about the world, curiosity about your profession, curiosity about science, curiosity about your families, curiosity about your patients and yourselves. I should also say curiosity is tough to teach. People either got it or they don't got it by the time they get to young adulthood. It's the reason why, having gotten to know some of you and how curious you are, that I will say this in front of your families. Most of you were probably pretty irritating children when you were kids. Always asking questions. This trait, of course, will stand you in good stead as you move through your medical education and as you move through your professional career. This innate inquisitiveness will keep you both humble as well as informed as the science and medicine changes. We've talked to you about being lifelong learners. That's what it's all about. So I am quite sure that many of you, as you are sitting here, are asking a question, which Dr. Wong posed to you already, but she foreshadowed what I'm about to say, expand on. And the question you're asking is, why white coats? What's up with these white coats? Why are we asking you to take a day away from your studies and invite family and friends to spend a day to travel here? Some of them at great inconvenience, at considerable expense, and let's be candid here, these days it's not so fun to travel far and can feel risky, and join you to celebrate what is, after all, a flimsy cotton garment, or in your case, a cotton polyester blend. After all, we all know that there are other members of our society who wear white coats, are forced to wear white coats. For instance, this gentleman, he comes to work every day, puts on a white coat, and I'm quite sure his employers did not ask him to participate in a white coat ceremony. Likewise, these people wear thicker, better white coats and very cool toques, hats. Okay, don't wear those in the hospital. And even if they graduated from culinary school, they didn't have a white coat ceremony. There are individuals, none of them here today, but there are individuals, some of you may have seen them, who are forced to wear a white coat every single day of their lives. We can't know, but we don't think they have a white coat ceremony. Of course, doctors didn't always wear white coats. This is a representation by a creative sculptor of Dr. Hippocrates, Hippocrates of Kos. He and his followers lived on an island in the Aegean, just a few miles off what is today modern-day mainland Turkey. They lived and wrote 2,400 years ago, and we remember them appropriately. We remember him specifically because he and his followers brought what we call empiricism, observation, the beginnings of science to clinical medicine 2,400 years ago. They didn't wear white coats, and you can't wear togas in the medical school. Let's skip ahead 1,200 years, this time to the lowlands in Northern Europe. And it doesn't project well, but some of you will recognize this is the anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicholas Tulp, painted by the extraordinary Rembrandt van Rijn in 1632. Here, Rembrandt paints the doctor. He's the guy with the black hat in the upper right, demonstrating the flexor and extensor tendons of this unfortunate man's left arm. Dr. Tulp was, without question, the most famous surgeon in Northern Europe of his day. He was the president of the Surgeons Guild, if you will, and he was so beloved that the citizens of Amsterdam elected him mayor of the city not once or twice, but 3 times, okay? Don't go into politics. Leave it to the politicians. Stay in medicine. But we remember Dr. Tulp as a brilliant surgeon. Lots of stiff white collars, no white coats. Move 200 years to this side of the Atlantic, and here's a representation of around 1850, 1860, of a general practitioner in this part of the country, wearing what he probably wore for most of his practice, the best clothes he could afford, seeing a patient in his clinic or going on house calls. Doctors didn't make a lot of money those days. The science they practiced was mostly non-existent, and there were no white coats. Moving forward into the last half of the 19th century, 1875, the remarkable Thomas Eakins, American painter, was asked to paint a portrait of Dr. Samuel Gross. Dr. Gross in Philadelphia was by far the most renowned surgeon in the northeast of this country and probably throughout the country. He wrote a textbook of surgery, translated into 3 languages, sold in Europe, widely admired both by his colleagues and the public. Dr. Gross, 1875, is seen in a surgical amphitheater treating a 14-year-old boy with a terrible bacterial infection of his lower leg. We know it was left tibial osteomyelitis, a bacterial infection that needed a surgeon to release the nasty bacteria. For those of you who can see it, on the lower left, there's a figure on the floor under Dr. Gross's right elbow, a woman, her head averted, fist clenched, clearly meant to portray anguish, fear, sadness. This was, in fact, the boy's mother. And she understood, even though her son was fortunate to have surgical care from the finest surgeon in America, it was very likely her son would end up losing his leg or worse. Even skilled doctors had a limit to what they could do for sick, desperately ill patients. But now, 14 years later, 1889, same city, same artist, Thomas Eakins, portraying a different surgeon. David Hayes Agnew, the man who took, if you will, the mantle of best surgeon in America from Dr. Gross to his own. And here in this surgical amphitheater, he's actually meant to be doing a mastectomy here. Here we see for the first time portrayal of white coats, and if you looked closely, you could see actually rubber gloves. What happened? What happened in the 14 years between 1875 and 1889, where all of a sudden clinicians are wearing white coats? What happened, of course, was science. The advent of science, as Dr. Wong clearly stated, it is the science that drives us, and it was only in the end of the 19th century that we doctors embraced the scientific method. The science, perhaps as embodied by, on the left, that's Louis Pasteur, a microbiologist in France, and on the right, Robert Koch, who was a clinician scientist who got the Nobel Prize in 1905 for the discovery of the bacteria that causes tuberculosis, a terrible lung infection. And both of these people and their colleagues wore white coats in their laboratories, and by the end of the 19th century, the educated public clamored for the scientific method in their clinicians. And what we doctors did, we stole their white coats and made them our own. And so, by the middle of the 20th century, just a few decades later, people would see a photograph like this of people probably unrecognizable by their faces, but wearing white coats, and would correctly assume this is a bunch of doctors simply by what they're wearing. In fact, this is the 1954 Emory School of Medicine Department of Pediatrics. By the way, if you think things don't change, that's 1954. Today, Dr. Wong's chair of pediatrics can boast a faculty of 1,300 pediatricians with over 100 residents. Things change. And just to bring home the point, you don't have to look at these people's faces. This photo was taken about 10 years ago, and obviously you know this is a group of doctors because of their long white coats. This was in fact the Department of Medicine house staff. White coats, doctors. These white coats that you're wearing now, your first white coats that you have been gifted, what should these white coats represent? Historically, it's scientific authority. It's safety, not for you, not for us, but for your patients. As Dr. Wong elucidated, cleanliness, honesty, compassion, and make no mistake, wearing these white coats gives the user power. Power to use for others. But I'd be remiss if we didn't end and honestly say that, as all of us know, there are people who wear white coats and use them not for good, but for ill. There are some white coat wearers who use these coats to practice quackery. It can be used as a barrier, both physical and emotional. And you don't need me to tell you about doctors you have seen, heard of, or met who practice medicine in an authoritarian, arrogant manner. If you're paying attention, you'll see these people are wearing short white coats. This was, in fact, a graduating class of Emory School of Medicine about a dozen years ago, taken just a few weeks before they graduated. And this will be you. Someday, sometime, this will be you. How will you wear your white coats? It's a decision. It's a choice. For the rest of your life, you will have to make choices. Will you wear them and wear them with the best practices of being a doctor in mind, compassionate, humility, scientific authority? You will make decisions for other people, about other people, and you will make choices for yourself. While wearing these white coats, on behalf of your small group advisors, all of the faculty, the staff, the administration of this medical school, ladies and gentlemen, class of 2029, we hope you choose well. Thank you for your attention.
For our last thing today, we're going to stop with a ritual, and that's the reading of the Hippocratic Oath. And so it's printed on the back of your bulletin. I would like to ask all the class to rise. I would ask all other physicians in the audience to rise and recite this with us if you feel comfortable doing so. And so we're gonna read this together. So watch so we can start. We're gonna start on the downbeat. All right, here we go. As the ancient Greeks swore by their pagan gods, so do I solemnly affirm that as a student in medicine at Emory University, according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and stipulation. I will consider dear to me those who have taught me this art and will impart the precepts and instruction of the profession to all those who qualify as students of the art and agree to the standards of the profession. I will follow that system of regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. Into whatever house I enter, I will go into it for the benefit of the sick, and will abstain from every voluntary act of mischief and corruption. Whatever in connection with my professional practice or not in connection with it, I see or hear in the lives of men and women which ought not to be spoken of abroad, I will not divulge, as reckoning that all such should be kept secret. While I continue to keep this oath inviolate, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art, respected by all people in all times. But should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. Everybody be seated except our students. So let's give one last round of applause. This concludes our white coat ceremony. May our guests remain seated while the students recess. Students, please exit the building and gather in the front steps, as we've talked about. After the students have completely left the building, I will tell the guests when they can get up and leave. The guests can leave through any of the building's doors on the outside, but not the back doors, because that's where they're going to be standing getting their picture taken. So there are doors up here to the side, there are doors down here to the side. Please join your family outside after the picture and enjoy the afternoon. Thank you.